Testimony from the Honorable Lillian Boyce was deferred for yet another day, and instead, former chairman of the Physical Planning Board, Earl Handfield, took the stand. During his testimony, Handfield strongly rejected claims by lawyers of the Premier and the current Minister of Natural Resources that his appearance before the Commission was a political statement, stemming from grievances that he had with the government over contracting jobs. Senior counsel to the Commission, Alex Milne, questioned Handfield about his publicized resignation from the Planning Board in late January. Handfield testified that the decision stemmed from a number of uncomfortable practices taken by the Premier, who had also served as Minister of Natural Resources during his tenure, and the current Minister, Honorable Handfield. Handfield testified that the approval of the Salt Key Dock project was, quote, the straw that broke the camel's back. He also testified that his decision to go public with his resignation was because of a moral obligation that he felt he had to the public and the members of the Planning Board. He testified that it was not to lash out at the government, as the Premier's lawyer, Earl later suggested. Handfield noted two specific occasions where he said he felt that he was being pressured to fast-forward certain developments. The first concerned the Dallas Key development. However, Handfield testified that he later took control of the conversation in that meeting, where other cabinet members were also present, and took the time to address concerns on behalf of the Contractors Association, for which he served as president at the time. He testified that he was disgruntled when he lost a subcontract with Projitect, who had lost their contract to develop Dallas Key. But he said, who wouldn't be, saying to Honorable Handfield's lawyer, who was posing the questions at the time, quote, if they were to bring 400 Chinese lawyers here to take your job, would you be happy? The second occasion concerned the extension of the Nikki Beach Resort. According to Handfield, this meeting was most uncomfortable because, along with the Premier, the Honorable Gilmore Williams, the Honorable Handfield, and an architect, the project's developer, Rodney Props, was also present. Later in cross-examination, both Honorable Handfield and the Premier Mizik's lawyers suggested that the Premier had never instructed Handfield to call special meetings, and furthermore, Honorable Handfield's lawyer suggested that his client was never present at the meeting that Handfield described. The Premier's lawyer, Edward Fitzgerald, suggested that the meeting was merely for the project's architect to discuss some new construction materials that were to be used. Handfield agreed that there was discussion to that effect, but he said that was not the purpose of the meeting. The meeting that actually led up to Handfield's resignation was also discussed. According to Handfield, he did receive text messages inviting him to attend a meeting at the Premier's office on January 9th to discuss the Salt Key Dock project. He testified that some of the texts appeared to have come from the Premier because his name was mentioned in the text. However, he was not aware of what the Premier's number was. He said he did not attend that meeting, and he did not call Honorable Handfield to talk about the meeting. He said that he later learned that a planning board meeting was held and the Salt Key Dock project was recommended for approval. He testified that he did not attend that meeting either. He also testified that the board had originally recommended that the project be rejected because of issues surrounding its proposed location on the northern side of the island. He said it would have been more suitable for the dock to be placed on the southern side. Fitzgerald made it clear that the board only had the power to make a recommendation on the project to the Minister of Natural Resources. However, the minister could choose to accept or reject that recommendation. Handfield agreed. Handfield's examination ended with questions from his own lawyer, Wendell Swan, who first had to provide sufficient reasons to the Commission about why he should be allowed to cross-examine. According to Commissioner Sir Robin Auld, only persons implicated in the scope of the terms of reference are permitted to have counsel. Swan led his client through a short series of questions to mainly support his earlier testimony. For WIV4 News, I'm Joy Del Trail.